Good morning, everybody. Welcome to AMES Facebook Live. I'm joined by my buddy Ronaldo here. We're going to be doing some sessions this week, some workshops on taping, embedding, first coating, and we're also going to be doing both in English and Spanish. So the first session here at 8 a.m. Eastern Time is in English, which I'll be doing, and then Ray's coming back on, Ronaldo's back on at 10 in Spanish. So if you guys want to wait and watch in Spanish, you can watch, or in English, it doesn't matter. You can watch both. Hopefully you watch both of them. We're here. I'm going to kind of flip the camera around to Ray. And he can kind of, maybe we'll put it on the tripod, maybe?
Yeah.
See? We're in our National Training Center here in Suwanee, Georgia. Suwanee is northeast of Atlanta, and we're really proud of our training center. So we've got booths, we've got training here. Certainly with the current pandemic, we haven't had classes here. We look forward to opening back up, but we'll give you a quick walk around. So if you look here, we've got some we do a lot of live virtual training now, so we've got multiple people on the TV here. We did an employee class last week. We had just full of people on here while we were doing the training in the booth. In our booth, you can kind of see we've got a table set up here, but we've got training booths. We've got 6 of these training booths set up. One is a photo booth, but we got 6 that we can do the training in. We still have classes set. We have people that have participated virtually in here. This is kind of our scheduled classes and people that have been trained. We're really proud of our training center. Displays are we're using these tools right now. You can see we have our Tape Tech. Tape Tech's part of our company. We do Tape Tech. We've got our AMES rental equipment. And if you look in here, some of our tools or equipment that we use for training people how to do the maintenance and things on the tools. When we do classes here, we virtually or live, we've got all the equipment to show you how to do the maintenance. It's really cool. Just another quick walk around. Walk back here. This is our photo booth. You can see in here, this is some of our equipment. We have pans, knives, mixers. AMES, we have everything you need for finishing drywall, doing hanging drywall, and we have it here. It's a neat place to have all the equipment to try out, pans, knives, mixers, the latest stuff in the trade that we have. So we're always using that here in our classes and our builds. So you can see here we have this is a wash station. This is a Tape Tech portable wash station. I was in Miami last week working down in downtown Miami with some customers, and it was just really handy. We're on the 17th floor. It was so easy just to wash tools up there with a bucket of water. You just need 5 gallons of water to wash your tools. It weighs 34 pounds. It's very easy to transport and move around, and it washes your tools quickly. It doesn't hold any water. It just drains it down here to keep recirculating the water. But we have one of those here that we're using. We just did a live Tape Tech session. You kind of see the tools. We're jumping right to AMES, and we just did a session for Tape Tech, our sister company, and the tools are all still in there. We got to clean them. If you look over here, this is an industrial wash station. So we have 10, 12 people. We're able to have multiple people washing tools at the same time. It has a trap in there to catch the joint compound, and we just let the water drain through, and then we pull the material out of here. So this is pretty cool. Stainless steel, works really good. Our mixing station, everything here, from the latest, from a corded to a cordless, our tape, measuring cups, mixers, material. We have all the equipment that we have here to go. We do a lot of maintenance, maintenance videos where people will call us up and say, hey, how do I change? How do I adjust? How do I do? We've done lots of videos, especially with the last year's events. We do a lot of maintenance and things for people. Send them a video, quick tell them how to fix a tool. So that's a quick walk around of our training center. We're really proud of it. It's the only training center in the industry that I'm aware of. And again, AMES leading the industry with training and knowledge, which is our job, is to pass knowledge along about our equipment, our long history that we invented these drywall tools, these finishing tools, back in 1939. So we got a long history and a lot of pride along with our history. So that being said, Ray's going to put the phone up on the tripod. We're going to start talking about taping. So the first coat, these segments or the workshops that we're doing are going to be based on the application. So the first thing you would do when you're doing finishing is the taping process. So we're going to do that today, and only that today. Tomorrow we're going to do the embedding, and then Thursday the finish coating. So we'll do them in 3 sections. Any questions, let us know. We'll answer them as we go or at the end. Or we have a neat special today. There's a discount. There's a code, and we are back in the control room. They'll be advising you of these discounts and things and how to do that. The word of the day, but we'll talk to you about that as we get rolling here. But keep an eye on that. It's pretty neat. There's a discount involved. For you, those of you who watch, you can text in on the Facebook page a message, and then you'll get the discount. And just to say, the word of the day is bazooka. I'll just let you know that much. Okay, ready? You're gonna get up on the tripod here. You can get that set up on there. There we go. You good? Well, we lost you for a second there. It looks like we got Jaime in there. Jaime's watching. Jaime, good morning to you. Okay, so what I like to do is I like to walk around and show you the equipment that we're going to be talking about. So the first thing that's kind of important is the tool that we fill the tools up with, which is the pump, loading pump. At AMES, we have two styles of pumps, okay? They're both the same, they just have a couple different features. The newest feature, the newest pump, if you will, it has a couple features that are pretty neat. It has an O-ring here instead of a paper gasket like the older pumps. We'll show you that. On the older pumps, you have to put a paper gasket. On the new ones, you don't. And this area right here is where we would attach the gooseneck. Okay? The gooseneck and the adapter, the filler adapter for all the other tools. Since today we're using the taper, the gooseneck is used only for the bazooka. That's what its primary purpose. And we just kind of put this on here like this, and then we tighten up these wing nuts. Okay? Tighten this up. A good tool to have with you is just a crescent wrench, adjustable wrench. Okay? You don't need an expensive one. If it gets lost, you just need a way to tighten this up. And you need to snug this down pretty good because the bazooka itself is sitting on here, and you don't want that to turn loose. So just snug this up pretty tight. Cheap crescent wrench. The gooseneck sits on here like so. The other adapter is just tethered. There's a little hole right here you can run the cable through, just hold so you don't lose it. Okay. Now on the pump, we have a handle for pumping, of course. It's simple. We have the cylinder itself that has the clamps. These just pop off, and you can just pull, remove the cylinder. Inside the pump, we have these little things right here. They're called these valve discs. Really important that you don't dry these out. So these move up and down. If you get a new tool from the store that's not priming right away, just put a little water in there. Put a little water to loosen that up. Put some oil on that. Again, this just attaches. If you put this on wrong, there's only one way the cylinder will attach. You can see this is the wrong way, so you have to turn it around. So you get the little bit. Snap down. Back. I did it again. So the latches will only go in one direction. Okay. Snap these down. Now on the bottom, we have what's called a foot valve. This little part right here is called the foot valve, and this is really nice because this just twists right off. Okay. For cleaning, if you take the cylinder off, you can just flush water through it. You can use a brush. Again, it has a valve disc on the bottom. Pretty important to keep that clean. We have two different types of screens that we're going to put in on this valve disc. For taping, there's one called coarse screen. It's a little wider. Can you see that pretty good, Ray? Wide? Yeah. Yep. And then you have the fine. The fine is used for pretty much everything else: finishing, boxing, nail spotting, mud runner. The coarse one is just a bigger screen. And how we put that on, there's a little wing nut down here at the bottom. Turn this off, take that off. There's a little hole in this screen. Just push it down into the foot valve. Tighten this up. Just turn this around like so. Make sure that it's flush, because during the day we're going to be cleaning out material. If it gets clogged, we don't want to catch our finger on that screen. And again, She say it's hard to hear. Oh, it's hard to hear. Yeah. Well, let me see if I can redo the sound. Turn it up. We got it on all the way. Maybe move a little closer on that. Let's see if we're. So let me see if we have. So we're having a little sound difficulty. So let me just take this phone off. I'm gonna check and see that our sound is good. So bear with me for a second. We're back. So I'll have to check on that and see. We're sorry for the sound not being great. We will just talk a little louder. Hopefully the sound is, our microphone must not be working properly today. So how's our sound? Can you guys give us a thumbs up if the sound is sounding okay? I know I'm close to the phone right now, but somebody give us a quick thumbs up, like if it's sounding okay, because we want to be loud enough. We do have a mic. I'm mic'd up, but I'm just not sure if it's connecting. But somebody let us know if you can. I'm going to keep moving on this. Maybe just a little closer on the camera, Ray, so we can hear. If it's not working, so the foot valve attaches to the bottom, and that's what the material goes in the screw. Okay. So the big differences are the O-ring and the removable foot valve. On the older pump, it does the same thing. We just have a paper gasket that we have to put on here to seal that where the O-ring is on that. And also on this pump, the bottom does not come off. So this bottom is not removable. It's just placed on. It's just screwed on there. You can unscrew it, take it off, but certainly that one's a lot easier. We'll be showing the newer pump today as we go through. The next tool that we're going to show will be the bazooka, the automatic taper. And this puts the joint compound, the mud, as a lot of people call it, and the tape on to the joint at the same time. The nice thing about this is you can go about 80 feet before it runs out. It weighs about 18 pounds, more or less, when it's full. You fill it with the pump, okay? You can tape joints, you can tape ceilings, you can tape angles. You have a creaser wheel here on the end that you use to crease the tape. You just use this lever here. You can use 500 or 250 foot rolls of tape. Compared to hand taping or using the banjo, you can reach only so high with these two tools. You can reach up, certainly a little higher with the banjo, but with the bazooka you can reach a lot higher, meaning more production. So you can reach more and do more. That's pretty important. If you're thinking about learning to use this and you're using the banjo, you're gonna produce more once you learn it. You're really fast with the banjo, but this will get you faster once you learn how to use this, because you can reach a lot higher with this. Okay. Lots of other things will show you this, but we'll show you this. We're going to be demonstrating this tool, automatic taper bazooka. Great tool. So this would be used to tape joints, flats, butt joints, flat seams. Angles are another tool that we have, and there's a system for that called a corner roller. The corner roller is used to embed the tape into the corner. It will attach to a universal extension handle. So this handle extends out to different lengths, like so. And it just threads on like so to this handle. See if I can get this turned on here. There we go. And you just tighten this up. Real simple tool. It's got 4 wheels, stainless steel wheels on the front. It rolls up and down. You can go up and down, bottom to top, top to bottom, doesn't matter. We'll demonstrate this tool as well. When you're done taping the corner, you would use the corner roller, and then you quickly go behind with a corner finisher. Again, a universal extension handle, and this little adapter has a little ball on it. You can see that pretty good, right? Good view. It threads on here as well. Tighten that up. On these adapters, you have a little wrench point right here. And what you can do is just put a wrench on there and snug this up. So if you look, it's kind of a flat point to tighten that up where it's round. Now, once we're rolling, we'll be done with the corner roller, we're going to use a corner finisher. Typically, we would use a 2 or a 2.5. We have 3 and 3.5 inch corner finishers in our range, okay? But like when you're embedding, you start out small and you work out. So you're going to use the first coat smaller, 2, 2.5, and then 3, 3.5, depending on how many coats or level of finish. So we would definitely not use the 3.5 for taping. Some people use the 3, but for our demo today, we're going to be using the 2 or the 2.5. I like the 2.5. It's a personal choice. I know if you're working around door frames, commercial jobs, you got to use certain smaller ones, but the 2.5 is a really nice tool for putting that first coat on the angle tape. And it has the patented locking clip, and we just lock this onto the ball like so. Now we can't come off unless we depress this and pull this off. Okay? So we'll demonstrate this tool as well. If you guys have any questions about the 3 or the 2, we can answer that. I will say on the 3, if you are using it, there are adjustable arms on this 3.5, this 3 inch.
Hola, Erika.
You can put these arms up if you want to have the frames to be more flexible. So more material will be left. I don't know if you can see that. Or if they're down, if I put it down, there's 2 springs that are in place. So this is more tight now, so it'll scrape off more material. Okay? So pretty important. There we go to the job bell. We're here at our factory in the back here is the workers, they have a break, so the bell goes off. But it's the loudest break bell in history. So this corner finisher can be used. I prefer the small one, 2.5. for the tape. Okay, let's move over to the joint compound. I'm going to put the tape. Oh, I forgot. Bazooka oil. Bazooka oil is an important thing. I know people use the WD product on things. It's not really going to hurt our tool per se, but the problem with WD-40 it loosens things up. So you may get out to the job site and there could be a screw coming out or something. So Bazooka oil lubricates. It's got more oil in it. It's a better product for our tools. Usually a little goes a long way. You don't have to use that much of this material. So we're going to take this along too. Ray's going to follow me over to our mixing station where we've got the joint compound. So we've got our loaded pump. We have mixed our joint compound probably about a quart and a quarter. Maybe we use a mixing, this is 32 ounce mixing cup. These are pretty cheap to find, dollar store you can find mixing cups. A liter. You can start out with a liter or a quart of water, and then you can add a little more or a little less, depending on the joint compound. It's really important to check with the manufacturer, see what they recommend, or what works for you in your area. They're generally the same, but sometimes the raw material can be a little different. For example, when you pick it up, it could be too thin. You're just going to have to adjust the material based on your location, where you are locally. Okay. A box of mud is less than a bucket of mud, but you dump it in, it's a little less. So adjust your water. If you're using a box of mud, there's going to be less in the bucket, even though it's a 4.5 gallon bucket. There's going to be less material in there, so adjust. The key is consistency. I've got this mixing paddle here. This is nice. We sell these at AMES, great paddles. You just mix the material to where it's thin, and it is coming off of the mixer pretty easily. Okay, I don't know if you can see that really good. It's not sticking. It's pretty much falling off of the mixer. The pump, we just set the pump right into the bucket like so. Before we put the bazooka onto the pump to fill, we want to prime. So we want material to come through the gooseneck. We don't want to pump air in the tool, in other words. So we're just going to pump this a little bit. And we'll see the material come out right around here. You see it right there. Yep. When that material's there, we're good to go. You don't want to pump air into the bazooka. Not going to hurt the tool, but you're going to have some air bubbles in the tool. And as you're running along the wall, we call them blisters. Everybody knows that word. It's a bad word. We don't want to have air behind the tape. We want to have joint compound solid behind it. So try to avoid mixing, pumping air into the tool. Kind of a neat tool to use is this masher, basically. And you can kind of push the material down as you're using it, so you don't do that. It's a pretty handy tool to use when you tape. So, just real quick, kind of demonstration, but I'm going to give you some quick points. The filler valve is in the fill position. You have an arm right here, it's in the fill position. And when it's in the run position, it's up here. When it's in the fill, it's right here. We have to push in on this disc when we push it down slightly. So if you just push down, it won't go. So you want to kind of push down, close the disc, or close the valve. And you kind of think of it as that the material is going this direction in the tool. If we turn it on, it's coming out this way right here onto the tape. That's just kind of the way to remember it. The material flowing in, we're going to put the filler adapter down onto the gooseneck. I'm trying to move slow for Ray. He's a great camera guy. And then we let it sit in the crate. Okay, so it sits here. That's the best place to fill the tool. Change the tape, do different things in this position. Tape. So this is a 250-foot roll of tape. It goes right here on this tape spool. You could have a 500-foot roll of tape. I would encourage you, if you're learning the tool, to start out with a 500-foot roll. Once you're proficient and you're running fast, the 500-foot rolls are fine. The little small rolls are a little bit lighter, and they don't spin as much when you're learning. Okay? We just remove this little tape keeper here. Now, this spool will come off, but we don't need to remove it. How you put the tape on depends on how you run the tool. And I say that you run it with your left hand or your right hand. And it's all about how this tape travels over the top of your hand on this part right here. So, we want to make sure that, I run the tool with my left hand, I have the tape come out to my left. The idea again is to make sure that the tape isn't cutting into your hand. I'll show you that. Replacing this keeper, this little wire band here. Now, the tape has to go through right here, so the bottom part of this keeper. We don't want to just run it down. We need to run it through here to keep it running that direction there. Another thing you also see is the tape has a natural curve to it. That's how we want the tape to come off the end of the tool, like so. we don't want it to go in the other direction. So if we put the tape in through the tape guide, you can see that right pretty good right there. The tape guide, again, we have our natural roll. We place it into the tape guide. And we just move it through right here. Okay. This area right here is kind of important to spray with the bazooka oil. And what we want to do is spray here, just a little bit on this little part right here, that moves the tape up and down. This is a magnet right here. So this little magnet, as this arm comes down, pulls it back up. So it's important to keep this little area smooth and lubricated. Also, where the tape travels, just want to put a little bit on there. You can do this during the day. You can do it after you clean the tool. The tape kind of keeps it on there, so if you're storing the tool, just leave the oil on there so it doesn't dissipate. But in here is really important to oil up. And during the day, that can get dried out. Okay. Certainly, we want to get rid of that when we're taping. We'll just remove that, like so. Place another piece of tape in. We're all lubricated up there. So. Another thing, Ray and I were talking today is, you know, the plunger that moves up and down inside of the tool. So as we fill this, there's a plunger. Let's see if I got this. I've got this one here. It's a clear one. I can show you. So if you look inside of this clear tool, you can see this plunger. When we fill this plunger travels in this direction. And it moves up and down there all day. So as you run it, it moves up. As it's filled, it goes back. One of the things that we like to do, especially if you're in a dry environment, is just we take part of a sponge. This is just a tile ground sponge, and we put it in the end of the tool. So it keeps the, if you can see that pretty good, it keeps the tool from drying out inside there if it's dry, and it keeps the plunger moving freely and smoothly. That's another place I guess I should show to put a little bit of bazooka oil in there. Keep that plunger moving so it doesn't dry out. Okay? So now we're ready to fill. As the plunger moves up the tool, basically to tell how it's full, we take our finger or fingers, usually just one finger, and place it into the tube, and when that plunger comes up and hits your finger, that's when you stop pumping. That's how you know it's full. Or you can count nine and a half, maybe, full pumps on the pump. So put our foot on there, put our finger into the tube, and then just pump. Now if you look down here, I don't know if you can see this turning. That little key is the cable unwinding off of its spool. Pump all the way up. Okay, so it hit my finger. I'm going to remove it so you can see the plunger. Kind of see in there that it's full. Okay, put this back in. You don't have to fill it all the way up. Now, when we take the tool off of the pump, we want to keep this arm forward and rest it on our foot. You don't want to hit it on the floor. The cable's strong, but where it's connected, if you hit it really hard on the floor, you can break the cable. Okay? To start the tool, we just have the tape come up here. Turn around here, right? Turn on the gate valve so we can engage the tool. And we can turn this little key right here just a little bit, just to start the material coming out. So you can see we have the tape and joint compound. All right? So now we're going to go tape. Really important, everybody runs the tool different with each hand. Got a good view there, right? Some people will run, we call this the control tube with their left hand. Some will run it with their right. Okay? So I prefer to run it with my left hand, but you should learn both hands. So you can get in a closet or someplace and run it. If you have a small, tight area, you can move around with your hands. So right-handed or left-handed, we want to stand about an arm length away from the wall. Okay? So if you're too close to the wall, you're going to get jammed up. If you're too far away, you're holding the weight out, you're extending. So about an arm length away from the wall, we just place the tool onto the wall, and then just stand up. About 3 inches, not quite from the top. We stop the tool totally, cut easily with the control tube, and then roll forward. And then the tape. We can always set our tape in there with the creaser wheel. That's how you run a vertical joint. Okay? Well, if you can see this one, if you're doing a butt joint or a vertical lateral wall, I'm just going to do the top of this one. Just run the tool up the wall, stop, cut, advance. You can put the creaser wheel in. This piece of tape here, let's just say that's a butt joint, we'd want to wipe that first and then run our lateral joint. So I'm going to wipe these. Typically a crew, you'd have a group of guys that would go through and wipe out behind. 8-inch knife's probably pretty good to work with. 8-inch blade. And we start in the middle and just wipe out the material. It's important to clean the bottom off because we're going to be boxing this tomorrow. So we want to make sure we clean that nicely. At the top, we're going to be taping this angle. We want to make sure that this is nice and clean. Nice and clean. Okay? Same here on this. This is a virtual butt joint. It's not really good. Clean this off. Make sure if you have a nail, fill it in. We don't want to leave the nail heads or screws. Nobody uses nails, they're all screws now. I want to clean that out. So again, just clean this. Wipe it out. Oh, I just forgot one. I just said to do it, and left one on. So, let's just say that is a joint. Now, we would do the lateral. Again, we got to make sure. Some people will bump the wall, and that'll put a little bit of material onto the tape. Then we can start at the joint. There's no joint here, but I'm going to show you. Into the corner. Okay? Ceilings. Ceilings are a little bit different. Ceilings, you have to hold the tool at an angle. You wouldn't want to run it straight up and down because gravity. Gravity is going to want this joint compound to fall. So you start out flat. If I can show you. Flat. Use your creaser wheel. Turn at an angle, and then run the tool at an angle. Okay, there's no, I can go back with my creaser wheel and tap that if I think it's going to fall, but that way there's material under there, but it's not pushing out on the sides. Real easy to do. Take some practice, but the payoff's going to be, you're going to be much more faster. So this is my lateral joint. Then the ceiling. Again, the ceilings, you can start in the middle and wipe towards the wall. Just wipe it out. If you don't, your tape will chatter up. It'll bind up. So you got to make sure you wipe so that it's flat. Got Ray working today. He's having to follow me a lot. Just wipe it out. If you guys are hand finishing and you're going to the bazooka, the 8-inch knife works better for wiping tape. If you're using a 6, you're going to have to take a lot of swipes at it. The 8, you can move a lot of material and wipe it out. This material, we can put right back in the bucket to reuse again. As long as you're not picking it up off the floor and have a lot of dirt or trash in there, you can reuse this material. It's fine. We have a screen on the pump. It works really well. All right, so for angles. I'm going to tape angles. But before I tape angles, I want to prepare the angle tools. So I'm going to make Ray do his cardio this morning. He's going to follow me a little bit more. These tools. And what I need is a small knife. Here we go. And follow me to the bucket, Ray, one more time. One more time to the well. He's laughing because he knows at 10 o'clock I got to do the same thing with him. So I got to follow him around. So he'll pay me back. So before we run the corner roller or the corner finisher, we have to prep it. So you only do this one time. You don't have to do this very many times. Just one time to prepare the tool. Is we just put the corner roller in the material, just to get a little bit of material on there to start. You only do this one time. Once you're going, you don't have to do it again. It's just the start of the day. On the corner finisher, I take a knife and just take a little bit of material and push it into the body, and it's just so it fills in the first corner. That's all. You're just doing this one time. That's it. Okay? Go back. There goes the bell. They're off great. Again, I'm just using these tools. I'm just preparing those one time so that they have joint compound to start off with. To do a corner, Now you see how I push that tape forward with the control tube? This is our control tube. Every time I do that without turning the wheel, there's going to be no material on that tape. If your control tube's forward, you can pull this back. You can either start here with this, you can bump it on the wall, and you can put material. The idea is to get material on the tape at the same time. Okay? So, let's see, Ray, I'm going to do this corner first. Put it in the corner. We use our creaser wheel, and we tape right to the corner. Same thing, 2 inches from the corner, stop, cut, and go. Now on the bottom, on the vertical, same thing, we're about an arm length away. You're good there, Ray? You're good to go? Just kind of move the tool up the corner. Stop, cut, and go. Right to the corner, okay? Now, some people will bump it. I will say if you do this, which is fine, put it in the corner, lead it out in front of you, into the corner. Now, if you go back and you see your tape is a little, you can just tap it in there, make sure it's close. Learning cuts, learning how to cut. You can use dry tape to learn. It's a good process to use like a roller taper. So, or when you're not finishing, just at home, practice on a wall somewhere. Just practice with some dry tape, okay? One more corner. I'll just do this little one here. Now you can see how fast this is. You can really tape. If you cut it too long, when it's still wet, just move it down a little bit and you're good to go. You're going to cut it long when you're learning, okay? So you can take this and bump it again, put it in the corner, and learn the tape. If you bump the corner right here, just remember to go back and touch that up. Because there's going to be these little wheel marks, these little teeth right here. And I've seen a lot of jobs. They go back and they don't touch that up. And when they paint it, you're going to see all these little spots where your wheel rolls onto the corner. A lot of guys don't touch that up. And then when they paint it, they see all these wheel marks. So make sure you touch that up if you do that technique. Corner roller. So corner roller, I'm just going to put it on. I'm going to use it in that position. These candles are great. You can extend them or lower them wherever you need it. Again, the tape in the corner, you can see the material behind there. Just take the corner roller and place it into the corner in the middle. And then set the tape. We're not putting any pressure. We're just going down the angle. If you have to, just move it over a little bit. And don't hit the floor. You don't want to pick up any trash from the floor. Come back up. Now when I get to the middle, now I can put pressure. Okay? Pressure down. Okay? Same here, right in the middle. Just roll it out, pressure, and then pressure. If you start at the end, you're going to wrinkle your tape more likely. So no pressure, roll it. No pressure, roll it. Now pressure. Now pressure. Same. Just going to repeat the same process. See if I got to push my tape over a little bit there. Just move it over a little bit if I go sideways. Now, just roll the tape into place. Don't hit the floor. A lot of people do, but if you can help from hitting the floor, don't do it. Wipe the roll the corner like this. That's all the corner roller does. It prepares the corner for the next tool, which is the corner finisher. Set this over here. Ray's doing a great job. Ray always does a great job. So, again, I'm going to extend this handle out. Locks in place. This tool now, you only have one direction you can go with this. It has a center clip. It looks like a little point right here. You can move this up, but if we're going to turn around and go back, you're going to have to change the direction of the tool. So you can't move this up and down like the corner roller. You can start at the end. So right here, let's say, for example, I'm going to get that little bit of material off of there. In the corner, you can move this way into the corner, a little bit of pressure, not too much, and then fold off. I can't push it back this way unless I turn the tool around and go back this direction. You can start at the top, or you can start at the bottom, like this direction. Move it up the corner, like so, and it wipes out the tape. The nice thing about, now if I need to go back down, see this little screw right here where it didn't cover? I can go back down and cover that screw back up. Is that it covers both sides of the tape. If you can see up here, it's covering both sides of the tape. When you do it by hand, you're just wiping all that material off and you're coating one side, running the other side. The automatic tools will do both sides. That's the nice thing, it'll save you a lot of time. Again, start right here. Put it in the corner, a little bit of pressure. You just kind of want to lead it out in front of you. It's not a lot of pressure. You're not pushing on it too hard. Put the tool in the corner. Now, what you want to do when you're taping joints, you can see, if I don't know if Ray, you can zoom in, you want to tape all your flats, all your joints first, because if this isn't dry, like this little corner right here, you're going to catch that with the edge of these blades. So that's why we always go through and do all these first on a project and then come back and do our angles. So I'm going to do the top down on this one. Again, I can't push it up, I can only go one direction. Push it down, okay? You can start at the bottom and go back up if you want to run it again. Works both ways. Now we have to detail these. These corners are, they're needing to be detailed. You can't leave them like that, that's for sure. So the key is on the top. We just take our pen and knife, or we have a guy doing this, is we wipe out the top. So we pull the top, we pull the bottom, and we pull the side. If there's anything in between, we can touch it up. We can kind of clean it out if you see anything. If you don't have to, don't wipe it out. Okay? Just leave it. So, just to repeat, we pull the top side, we pull the bottom down, and then we pull this side here. And we wipe it out. If we see anything, like right here, you can see a little bit of material. If we don't see anything, don't touch it, just leave it. If you have to feather an edge, wipe that out, but if there's nothing wrong, certainly don't do it. Now, at the bottom, here, or the middle here, we just want to detail this out down here at the bottom. So that's detailed. Again, if you're doing trim, if you have a carpenter on your job, who doesn't, they're going to be happy if you just keep that nice and clean. Plus, we're going to run another tool over this, a mud runner or a corner applicator. We want to make sure that that's nice and clean. So this one, we got a little bit of problem with that tape. We're going to just clean this corner right here. Now I got my tape kind of doubled up here, so I got to fix that. And guys, when you're learning, you're going to have this. You're going to cut your tape long. You're going to cut it short. You're going to have some help to clean things up. Be patient. It takes time to learn it. Nobody ever picked it up on day one and ran the tool perfectly. So I'm just going to wipe this out. Get all this material out of here. I guess some people maybe have. I know some guys that are pretty quick learners, but for the most part, it takes some patience. You learn the tool, and then you get better at it each day. Each day you go through it. It took me a while to learn how to use these tools, but here, Ray's making a funny face at me. Get that bottom. Just clean this a little bit. You don't have to wipe it out too much. Just keep it nice and clean. The idea is you have a nice finished corner. It's taped. When this dries, it'll be nice and white. We're going to add more to that when we go a little wider. Our tape joint here, as this dries, it'll shrink. We wiped it nice and tight with an 8-inch knife, smooth. We did one whole run. We were able to run the whole joint with one run. By hand, you could run it only so high, or with the banjo. Unless you got really long arms, you can't reach that. And that's the benefit of taking the time to learn these tools. You can really reach higher, produce more. A lot of jobs now are really high ceilings. You can reach a lot further. You can go a lot further. When you're hand taping, you have to fill your pan up a lot. The material gets thick, you got to throw it out. With the banjo, you're probably going 25, maybe 30 feet, maybe if you're lucky. You can go 80 feet with the bazooka, and you can reach up high. So you're going to save a lot of time. It's a good thing to invest your time in. Any questions on this? This is our first section that we've done. We've done the joints, the angles. When this dries tomorrow, we'll be boxing it, running the nail spotter, embedding it. That's part of our workshop tomorrow. And again, Ray's going to be on here in another little bit at 10 o'clock to run the same thing, but in Spanish. He'll be doing Spanish language. He does a great job of that. So, any questions? Let's walk over here. My time is doing pretty well. Do we have any questions, Ray? Anybody ask anything? No?
No. Well, they answer.
The answer? Yep.
Somebody's answering the question.
Room?
They request on Spanish the video too.
Yep.
So
you're coming on
10
at 10 o'clock?
to 10 o'clock.
Yep.
Yeah.
10 o'clock in Spanish, Ray's superstar. He'll be doing the Spanish version.
I'm learning.
I'll be chasing him, yeah.
I'm the labor.
Yeah. He's the camera guy. He's coming out. He's doing the next video at 10 o'clock. So in Espanol, me, poquito Espanol, but Reynaldo is very good at that. So we'll be doing that. talking about the special today, the word today, again, I'll repeat it, is bazooka. And if you send a message to AMES on our Facebook page, you'll have directions. They'll send you, I think you have to also know the places you're going to be shopping, the AMES store, for example. If you're in Miami Lakes, if you're in my buddy Aldo, legendary Aldo, man, down in Miami Lakes, Florida. I was there last week. You can go in and they'll give you instructions, a control room on how to get your discount. It's 10% discount on products. They're all on this form. If you kind of look here, great, if I can zoom in on that. Can you see that pretty good? It's 10%. It's only good through Friday the March. You have to get your discount or ask for it by Friday, March 5th, which is this Friday. That's the code. You can use it up through April, but you got to get the code. You got to get the discount code by this Friday. So that'll be on here. This will be on our website, but it's 10% off a single item. So if you're buying I don't know, Aldo was selling stuff last week. He had a sander. He had some guy buying a sander. There's different things that don't qualify. Certainly, there's some tape tech parts and things, but check with the AMES Facebook page, and you'll see what does. And there's codes and different things for promotion on that. I'll show you this again, but it's a good deal. It's good stuff to have. If you have something you need and you're watching, go by your AMES store and get a discount. That we appreciate your business. That's my segment for today. I don't know if there's any questions. Anybody? I think we're at about 45 minutes. We try to keep these under an hour. Facebook policy with their live feeds, they got to keep it under an hour. But I hope it was some help. If there's any questions, certainly anytime, any video, you can watch it later. If you watch it tonight and you have a question, shoot us a message. We'll answer back. We'll get you an answer. If there's something you have a question about the use of the tools, how do I get the tools, how do I rent, where do I, we'll point you in the right direction. That's for sure. So I know that these workshops are helpful, I hope, to go through some of these things. We've done them before, but we'd like to revisit them at times. We'll do the whole thing. The process, the maintenance, the washing. We've got a lot of things that we're going to go back over. Here in our training center in Suwannee, Georgia, we'll be talking about all these things. So,
If we can help to somebody with a video live with some problem you have, you can call to AMES and tell them you need to do a video live with over the phone or on WhatsApp, and we can help you with that one too later on, if after the class, because we cannot be able to do training on the job right now, but we can help you on video call. Yeah.
Last week we had a virtual class in here of new employees. So employees that work for AMES, we had 8 people on the TV screen that one of us would hold the camera in the tool, and Ray was doing the maintenance, and we did a lot of things about all the range of products virtually. So certainly helps to be there, but these days with the current situation, we're
Eduardo is watching. Eddie from he's watching you. Eddie from Jacksonville.
Another legend, another Florida legend. Erod, Eddie, good to see you, Ed. The virtual process now is the new normal. We're finding that virtual training. We didn't do that before, to be honest. I started doing these live videos in my garage. So Ray and I built a booth. So we're moving up. Like Ray said, we can do live, or we can do a video. Hey, here's how you do this. If you're having a question, maybe you're learning the bazooka and you're having trouble cutting, we can do a short, quick video. Send you a link and say, try this, So there's lots of things, lots of methods that we can use. You can watch it on your phone. There's lots of videos. There's stuff on the AMES site. So we're in a new normal right now, and we're learning and we're getting better. I hope the sound got better. I'll have to check that out at the break, see if I can get Ray wired up better. But we have speakers. The Bluetooth sometimes goes on and off, but that's our plan. So if there's not any more questions, I'm gonna stop.
Derek, say hi from Missouri. Derek.
Hey, Derek, nice for you to watch. Missouri, beautiful country. So we're gonna stop. I'm gonna come back and look at the camera. I'm gonna actually bring this over here and let them see if they can look at the coupon one more time, just to kind of zoom into that. If you can kind of see that, that's your discount for today. Sorry. There you go. See if I can zoom in on that a little bit. So wow, that brake bell's going off today a lot. You're getting a lot of brakes. So 10%, the word of the day is bazooka. I'm gonna probably bring this off in a minute. There's no other questions. Let's see, in Medellin. Wow, that's a nice, beautiful place. Colombia. Jaime, I already said hi. Todd Vogel, Kim. You got 10 o'clock. Yep. So I'm gonna let this go. We're gonna stop. Ray, let me flip the camera around. Thank you from Ray and I. This guy right here is going to be on at 10 o'clock. No, I'm done, man. I did my time.
Okay, me.
He's your turn. So we're actually glad. We're trying to socially distance. When we do the camera,
I get my mask.
he's got his mask. Yeah. So we really practice this. When he's shooting, he's 6 feet away. That's why we're trying to get the sound a little bit better. Sometimes with the mask on, it's tough, so I take it off.
Yeah, it's kind of
hard. Yeah. But we're trying. Again, we'll get through this, everybody. Thank you for watching. We appreciate your time. Watch 10 o'clock if you're in Espanol, Ronaldo, and we'll be on shortly. So thanks again for watching. Any more questions, let us know at any time. Brian, Andrew, thanks for watching. And tune in tomorrow at the same time for the boxing, this first coat. And we'll be doing 8 and 10 o'clock again. 8 o'clock in English, 10 o'clock in Spanish. We'll be here. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for watching.
I'll see you to 10 o'clock.
You will. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.